And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
On the double. Ready?
They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damien Harris. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper. The Texans at 2-8 now on the year. And Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you, and you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them.
So the completion good for just 3. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Harris running straight ahead. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Texans tried it, but they come up 50 here on fourth. And this defense holds firm here on the opening drive of the night. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Carr. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. They'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
We're scoreless after 1. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Slot man moves right. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. He'll look downfield for Waller. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Deontay Hardy back deep. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Harris starts the drive on the ground. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's a much-needed completion right there on 3rd down. Really a sigh of relief, isn't it? They're backed up deep. You know they don't want to give the ball back to the other guys in great field position. They needed that throw, that completion, that first down.
Sliding out of the pocket. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. He'll look to throw. That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Granted, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
The Texans on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring out the 3rd down. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense drives.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
93. It's good.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40, before being taken down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is taken in at the 5. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Five yards from the end zone, 1st and goal. Now a first down carry for Harris. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Texans go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
On 2nd and 7, Carr. And Carr gives himself up, but not before he picks up a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Adams the man in motion right.
93.
On 2nd and 7. Carr. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Carr going to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's got it. Touchdown Raiders. Davante Adams. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand-new ball game, all tied here in the 3rd as they have their first possession of this second half.
And, Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
On play action, they'll throw. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster.
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback, because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And the tight end goes in motion left. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
6-18.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's A.J. Cole now, standing just outside his own goal line.
It's a 54-yard punt with a return of 11. And the Texans will take over.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter.
And he'll get nothing out of that one. So nothing doing there, and that will bring up second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
They hand this off to Harris.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Looking to throw. He's got Gore.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So they convert on fourth, and now from just outside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
On the give, this is Harris.
44 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
And they'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown run.
And the Texans have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the fourth.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll be taken down at the 34. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Now Carr, gotta have this one. Able to find Walter, that's complete. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. Carlson now to add the extra point. And oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. So still a little over 40 seconds to go. Time enough to put a drive together if they can get this onside kick. And this will be recovered by the Texans. So victory appears to be in sight. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On the set. 2nd and 11 now.